What's good, G Life? Now, today we shall be talking about two P's and a B, the Pacoima Pyru Bloods. Since WAC 100 has been, I guess, on the headlines, that's why people are asking me if I could discuss these individuals since, he is from the Valle, just like I'm from the Valle, so he does come from my area. What do I know about this neighborhood and am I familiar with them, right? So we shall be discussing, the neighborhood. Now, WAC is himself, the neighborhood is itself, right? So WAC 100's actions don't reflect upon the neighborhood. Even though I know people like to intermix them, just because he is from that neighborhood doesn't reflect about those individuals from those neighborhoods. WAC is himself, and these guys are themselves, you know what I mean? Because, I know WAC does get a lot of hate and stuff like that. Well-deserved, you know what I mean? I'm not here to hate on the individual. It's just I'm only here to call the facts, the proof speaks for itself, he does do a lot of stuff, that's odd, and has been ran up on and all of this, you know what I mean? Those are not made up stories. Made up stories is when people say like he's gay or that he whatever these people want to make up about him, that he has man because he was butt naked and those are not facts, bro. People don't have concrete evidence of that. Another thing is that when they were talking about him being butt naked, like who was he talking to? Why would anybody want to care to know who he was on the phone with? Like, what does that even matter, bro? Like, why would you want to know who he was talking to like that, bro? Like, why would you care to know that information? That's odd. You know what I mean? It's not something I would discuss and stuff like that. It's strange. But we are here to just talk about his neighborhood. So without further ado, let's get into it. I keep it G like a G is supposed to. I'm from the old school, no one comes close to. Post it up and I do what I want to. Post it up and I do what I want to. I keep it G like a G is supposed to. I'm from the old school, no one comes close to. Post it up and I do what I want to. Post it up and I do what I want to. I keep it true and I mean every last word. I was fooled by the truth, real gangsters. White tee creased up with a strap too. I'm from the bottom where we earn all our tattoos. Boy, it's taboo when you living just like I do. Air is up and we keep it all blue. I keep it loony and I don't mean like cartoons. They talk brave till they hear that click, clap, boom. It is what it is, we do what the G's do. Celebrate so we hot box the whole room.
You are now watching M.O.D. Entertainment.
What's good, G? Now, this right here that you're seeing on the screen is the San Fernando Valley, the 818, my hometown. Now, where is 818 located? Well, right here, you see this right here is Los Angeles. LA, the MacArthur Park area, home to all the, notorious neighborhoods, And this right here is Nella, which is Northeast LA, which is where the avenues, Frogtown, and all that's at. See right here, this is Tunerville, which is still, Nella. And its territory, is from the Outwater, right here, Outwater Village, and their turf spreads out to Glendale, which is already the 818, which is already the San Fernando Valley. Glendale's already the San Fernando Valley. Now, as you see, if we go more up, you see that right here is all Glendale. This is all the 818. So it's literally just right there, right next door. You know what I mean? Because you got the West Side Lokes right here. You know what I mean? And then you made your way already into Burbank right here. Burbank, already being the 818. Home to, several neighborhoods itself. And then you reach, the area of what's North Hollywood, it's Sun Valley, all that, and then just the city right next door, right over, is the city of Pacoima. Pacoima is a notorious place right here in the 818, home to a lot of different barrios, Pacoima 13, Southside Locos, Latin Times, Cayuga, Knock Knock Boys, Paxton, Brownstones, Dead End Boys, Criminals, Crazy Boys, Pierce Boys, Van Nuys Boys, you got everybody and their mother right here. And this is also home to, WAC 100's neighborhood, the Pacoima Pyru Bloods. Heading to a different area, that's San Fernando. Oh, yeah, you got the Flats, you got the Project Boys, the Vaughn Streeters. I'm telling you, there's just a lot of neighborhoods, right? And then right here, when you reach already heading in towards the red area is already where it's the Pacoima Pyru Bloods territory right here, where they share territory with the Van Nuys Boys and Terabellas, and then they have a separate chapter, on the lower part, on Glen Oaks, right? But this is their main domain right here, is the heart of their hood, right here where I have it locked in right here. You see, they have to share with Pacoima, Terabella, Van Nuys Boys, 2 Hispanic neighborhoods. This is their territory right here. These apartment complexes right here are the Vietnamese apartment complex. You know, the Noms. That's why they're known as the Noms gang. You know, Vietnam. That Vietnam apartments, you know, that's why they're known as the Noms gang. You hear them say Noms, and even the Van Nuys Boys, why they say Noms gangs too, because they share the same. They're like projects. Now, when it comes to the Pacoima Piru Bloods, they're a neighborhood that has been well established here in the San Fernando Valley since the 80s that they were established, right? Now in the San Fernando Valley, there's not that many black neighborhoods, but there is some, right? So this is one of the largest, if not the largest, black neighborhood in the San Fernando Valley. These guys, you know, are well known, you know, throughout the area. Their territory is everything that extends right there on Borden and Pierce, like I had said, where the Vietnam apartments are at, the Noms gang, you know, that's why, you know, Vietnam, that's why they're known as the Noms gang. And they do share territory, obviously, with Terabella and Van Nuys Boys because they're just right there, too. They share the same apartment place. They have a good relationship, though, you know, with them. Well, back then, you know, I don't know about now, but back then, you know, they had a good relationship. You know, they were cool with each other. But they did tend to beef it with, like, almost every other Pacoima gang in the area, every other Hispanic gang, which is, like, a total of, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 13 other Hispanic gangs that are just right there, too. So they had a lot of beef, right? And not just with them, but with, like, Sanford and Violent Boys and other vatos within the area, right? So these guys had it hectic and rough, bro. You can see why Wack 100 maybe had some feelings towards the raza, because he comes from an area where the tensions were not, where the relationships were not good. You know, they weren't peaches and cream. It was hectic, you know. It was real war, bro. You know, bodies dropping. You know, shit was cracking. Not only that, but they do beef it with, like, the other Crip sets that are around. You know, Every Woman's Fantasy. You know, Whitsett Avenue Cribs. You know, Original Valley Gangsters Cribs. You know, so it was on and cracking, bro. So it's not, you know, these guys had a tough mission, but like I said, these guys always handle business. They had riders, you know, on their side that were, you know, putting it on the map for them. Like I said, my neighborhood and their neighborhood, there was no beef. There was a few incidents here and there, a few, you know, fights, but not to say that there was beef, you know, just misunderstandings and people feeling, you know, disrespected and, you know, but, you know, a few blows, but that's it. It was never beef and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Just individuals amongst themselves who just had, you know, disagreements. But I have ran into these individuals several times, and I could say that they're down for their shit. They represented, they were doing their thing, you know what I mean? I could at least say that. Now, I can't speak on behalf of Wack, you know, I never seen Wack or nothing like that, you know what I mean? I seen his homeboys, I never seen him, so I can't say if he was really out there doing things and whatnot, you know. I never heard of his name. I have heard, you know, of other individuals from that neighborhood, but never Wack. Never seen no Wack hit up, never seen Wack because they were posted up not only in the you know, the Noms apartment places on Borden, but they used to also post up at the Handsome Dam Park, right? That was the park where they would go kick it. Why they had a lot of tension with other Pacoima gangs, right? Because that was their park too, so you could see where the beef, you know, because of territory, you know, gangs are territorial, so you can see where the conflicts lied. I never seen them right there when they used to post up and stuff like that. Like I said, you know, but I'm just saying, you know, I could only spit and speak on what I know. I'm not hating on the individual. I'm only simply coming and telling what I seen, you know. Now that's called hating just because I'm being honest of what I actually seen, then I guess. Right, but these individuals were really out there doing their thing, you know what I mean? They're about the business, you know what I mean? I can't say that these guys are lame or they're not posted or they're, you know, just, like I said, because I hear a lot of people talking nowadays because I guess because of Wack and all the incidents that people now, you know, want to reflect that on the neighborhood when it's two different things, you know? Don't think just because this individual behaves in this manner that his neighborhood, you know, is the same way. You'll be foolish. That's why, you know, you can't go and insult the neighborhood now too, you know what I mean? Because now you're going to bring all that pedo to yourself. And like I said, these guys have real individuals who are not playing out there, bro. They got gunners. You know what I mean? Could only call it how it is, bro, you know? But yeah, that's what's up with the Pacoima Piru Bloods, a real neighborhood that's been right here since the 80s. Yeah, and still representing, you know what I mean? They're still up and they're still doing their thing right there and holding it down for that 818.